Drink Cinema! Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are 2 out of 3 brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
How are you?
I'm not sucking cocks in hell, so I think I'm all right. What a way to open the show.
We are reviewing the movie The Exorcist, in case you didn't know that line.
Yeah.
From Brett just blurting it out on our podcast that luckily has an explicit rating on it.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to know the tagline for the movie The Exorcist from 1973?
Is it the scariest movie of all time?
No, that's what it says on the front of the Blu-ray, which people agree or disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 4 on wikiquote.org.
Wikiquote,
Sorry,
okay.
en.wikiquote.org, so you
Okay.
know I'm reading it in English. It's got 4 taglines
Right.
of varying lengths, right? Taglines are meant to be catchy.
Yes.
Tell me if this one's catchy.
Yeah.
Something beyond comprehension is happening to a girl on this street in this house, and a man has been sent for as a last resort. This man is the Exorcist.
Not that catchy.
Nobody expected it, nobody believed it, and nothing could stop it. The one hope, the only hope, the Exorcist.
Taglines were longer back in the day. What
Somewhere
about what
between-
an excellent day for an exorcism?
Yeah. Somewhere between science and superstition, there is another world, the world of darkness.
Ooh.
Or the one that's actually tagging, the devil inside.
I don't like any of them, to be honest.
There's an about section, right, on wikiquote.com, which is not really about the movie.
Okay.
This is a quote from an article by Alok Vaid Menon on how the transphobic narrative constructs predators and victims.
Moving on.
The 1973 horror flick The Exorcist is my favourite snapshot of the cultural place of white cis little girls. In the film, a little girl with a single mother is possessed by the devil. From another perspective, the little girl is exploring her sexuality and her own demons /
piss
meanness.
off.
Obviously, white men from the church have to be brought in to save her since her single mum can't do it alone.
Asshole.
Imagine drawing that out of this movie.
Idiot.
All right, we are reviewing The Exorcist, and after reading that ridiculously long transphobic bow being drawn, I need a drink.
That's good, because I have prepared one.
Good.
It's called The Exorcist.
Oh, good.
And it has in it tequila,
Yep.
lime cordial, blue
Okay.
curacao, and, just some solo to top off.
All right. Over ice.
For the record, we need more tequila and probably some more blue curacao.
Oh, yeah. Click the link to support and
I was
tip us.
hoping it'd be more vomit green.
Well,
in
actually,
colour.
we also need some more Midori.
Yeah, we need more Midori.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like it.
Ooh.
I mean, what's not to like? Could do a little bit more lime. I think.
Blue curacao and solo go well together.
Yeah, that's like the 2 main ingredients of a wet willy.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. Let's not get...
All right. The quantities will be on our socials for that
Yes,
at
they
2 out
will.
of 3 brothers. All right. The story of The Exorcist, it's based on a novel by William Friedkin, directed by William Friedkin. The screenplay by William Peter Blatty, based on his 1971 novel of the same name. Mm-hmm. Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, Jason Miller, and Linda
Sydow?
Blair. Yeah.
Not Sydow.
Sydow, whatever.
Sydow.
Max von Sydow.
Maxie.
It's like a proper slow-build horror movie.
You guys say like a prayer. Wow.
I'll take you there.
Too much Madonna.
It's a proper slow-build horror movie.
Oh, 100%.
It's very interesting. In terms of... Okay, so I want to talk a couple of things about the story. Mm-hmm. In terms of horror story,
Yep.
it does do the slow build, but it doesn't get progressively scarier. Like it kind
okay.
of stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of quick jumps.
Yep.
Like it goes from her probably being a bit sick in the head to her walking down the stairs on her hands.
Which wasn't in the version I watched.
I watched the Blu-ray director's cut, right? And then when you told me that wasn't in the version you watched, I thought that was really odd because that's an iconic scene.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Not
so
the most, but continue.
yeah. So it does follow the slow build of horror.
Yep.
But what I found really interesting on this watching of it was the comments that the movie is making in regards to science versus faith. And
Yes.
science versus religion.
Yep.
And one thing that I forgot is that it's actually a doctor that suggests an exorcism.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they can't go any further. But the doctor kind of does say an exorcism in a psychosomatic kind of way.
Mm.
Like if the person who is actually some kind of schizophrenic
Yep.
believes that an exorcism will help them, then an exorcism will help them, which
Yeah.
in itself is a comment on faith,
Uh-huh.
really.
Yes.
So,
That's the interesting that I
Yeah.
thought about it, because it's very like, it's partially like, no, I don't believe in religion, says Karen. And then,
Chris McNeil.
yeah, and then religion ends up,
Saving.
saving the day eventually.
Yes. But
So
then,
it's an interesting, almost anti-religious, but then it is pro-religion.
also, we also watched Exorcist Believer, which came out a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That is a little bit similar,
Yeah, it's more anti-religion, really.
but it doesn't really end up with religion saving the day, which is the key difference, I think.
Yeah.
It's the dad doesn't believe in
A lot
religion,
of difference.
but then all of these, well, in terms of story,
Yeah.
like in terms of messaging, I mean,
Right.
it's not necessarily the religion that saves in the end, but I won't spoil it. So it's a slow build. I forgot that it's that slow, that there's the whole Iraqi thing at the start.
I completely forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. Max von Sydow
Yeah.
out in Iraq, finding little artifacts. And we don't get a lot of information about him.
Mm-hmm.
That, I feel, in the book is a prologue.
Yes.
Like, it's not a chapter 1.
Yeah.
And then we see the huge dick deviled statue
Uh-huh.
that then tells essentially Max Sydow to go to Georgetown,
Yep.
which is really odd.
Yeah.
But we end up in Georgetown. We do find out straight away that Chris McNeil is a Karen. And I was wondering if Warner Brothers would have been filming a movie in Georgetown. Like, is that a location that people would film in?
Well,
Unless it's
yeah.
the actual university. Like, Georgetown University is the center of the movie. But that's an aside.
it was mainly the interior scenes were mainly shot in New York.
No, in the
including
movie.
the
The movie
house.
within the movie.
Sorry, I forgot she was an actress.
Yeah. Like, would they have sent...
yes, okay, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, would they have sent her to Georgetown for filming?
She's Chris McNeil. I mean, I think she's a big deal.
She is a big... Well, she thinks she's a big deal also.
It definitely does.
Nothing... I wrote, we're 20 minutes in and nothing scary has happened.
I remember once I watched this with a friend, and he was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
This is a really boring movie. And then like a little bit later, he was like screaming at the TV like, what the fuck?
And then we get a couple of jump scenes, but we do get quite a build-up of the sciencey side of things. And she's approaching it very clearly from the start as a a medical thing. But then we do get a little flash of demon face.
Yeah.
Which kind of says to us, well, she's possessed. What
Yeah.
are you wasting your time?
You
when
already know she's possessed.
And antiquated MRI machine that would have made me cry, let alone a 12-year-old girl.
No, brutal. Apparently, that scene in the cinema is where
Yes.
they show movies,
Generally.
caused the most discomfort.
Yeah.
Especially when the bit where they like actually stick a needle into her.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, it looks real, right?
Linda Blair has done very well to be able to be in movies after this movie.
Yeah.
Not only for not being typecast and not only for not being just a child star, but the fact that she managed to be on set again and do more after what I imagine was an incredibly taxing process of doing this movie is great.
British comedian Graham Garden, who has a medical degree, agreed the scene was genuinely disturbing in his review in The New Scientist, and he called it irresponsible.
Horror movies are meant to be disturbing, Graham.
Yep.
Mr. Garden.
I think he also said, I enjoyed that scene where she masturbates with a crucifix.
Oh.
No, he didn't say that. I made that up.
There's little... What it does well in terms of horror movies, I think, is have little things that don't quite allow Chris McNeil to do more investigations.
Okay.
Like, the fact that she's young makes the things she's saying not believable.
Yes.
So, like Mr. Howdy,
Yeah.
right, with the Ouija board, and she thinks that the thing going across the Ouija board away from her is Reagan when it's really not. And another moment that kind of stops Chris from thinking too much other than medically about it is that candle that blows up. But
Yes.
Carl appears to make her move on and forget about the candle
Fucking
exploding.
Carl. Yeah, yeah.
Well, fucking Carl for the boss too. He's like, we don't have rats. She's like, just put some fucking traps up there, would you?
Just do what I say,
what
Carl.
am I paying you for?
Yeah.
When they actually don't have rats. They have demons.
They have a demon.
And you can't trap a demon with cheese.
Yes, because demons are historically lactose intolerant.
Everybody knows that.
That's why they
Come
vomit
on,
green.
Chris. Yeah.
Because she had cheese.
She had the cheese from the mouse traps,
Yeah.
and so she had to vomit.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's like how so demons are lactose intolerant and angels are celiac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How does that go with give us our daily bread?
Well, they don't have trespasses to forgive. I don't know, Lee. Thanks for ruining my joke. And nymphs are vegans. I don't fucking know.
Nothing really happens that makes her take her to a doctor.
She pees the floor.
That's after the first doctor visit.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm sorry, she's not been well.
So this is what happens, right? I've got in my notes. Nothing really happens much that makes her take her to a doctor. That seems a bit of a jump, right? And then we get the flash of the demon face while all of that's happened.
Yeah.
Then I felt this scene. A disorder of the nerves affects her concentration and they give her Ritalin.
Uh-huh.
Right, she's got ADHD, they reckon, which wasn't ADHD. They just found out that speed calms kids down sometimes.
Yeah.
So they started prescribing it. And then keep your fingers away from my goddamn C.
Uh-huh.
The first C bomb of the movie.
God. Ooh.
Then the party happens. After that.
Did I miss another scene?
So, well, then I wrote, the simplest solution is pills.
Did I miss another scene?
I don't know. That it's a comment on the way the way historically mental health, I think, has been treated as well.
Yeah.
Because the priest is a psychologist and the doctor's solution is to just give her some pills.
Yeah. Did you watch the extended director's cut? 132 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't think that's the version that's on streaming.
No, but the piss still comes after the first doctor visit.
I don't remember that first doctor visit. Oh, no, okay.
Do you remember the doctor saying your daughter said keep your fingers away from her goddamn cunt?
No.
Is that? Oh, so is that an added scene?
Maybe.
This could be terrible. A terrible review then.
Well, I think there's only
Anyway, the director's a dickhead.
The main part of the movie stays in.
The director is a dickhead calling Carl a Nazi. Right?
Director is a dickhead calling Carl a Nazi.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yes. Yep. No, sorry. I was like, William Friedkin never called Carl a Nazi.
No, the character
He might
director
have.
called Carl a Nazi.
What was that?
He was just an asshole. And then the priest playing the piano. Hello.
Lee, I don't know about you, but my idea of heaven is I'm dancing in a nightclub, playing the piano, dressed in all white, singing Diana Ross. I don't
You know what he
Diana
is
Ross.
singing? It's Christmas in heaven. All the children sing.
There's head spinning and crucifix masturbation.
And pissing on the carpet.
There's a demon in Reagan. The
Anyway.
stars fall from the sky.
What's interesting, though, is that priest is in the house and doesn't get any demonic feelings.
He's not a real priest, Lee.
No vibes.
He just joined the thing to get with the other priests.
The bed shaking effect is pretty good.
The effect of her having the very violent
Yeah.
back and forth thing. Yeah.
All of those practical effects are very good.
Yep.
Some other things. I won't go through the story bit by bit because we might have to keep stopping for scenes that you didn't see.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm going to say that it's a very good horror movie and ticks quite a few horror boxes in terms of the slow build-up and some increasing suspense. You know, I did write in my notes, they're giving away that she's possessed. And then I'm like, Lee, the name of the movie is The Exorcist.
Yeah. The tagline is an essay about how she's possessed.
We know that an exorcism of a possessed girl is happening in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's okay to give that away early.
Yes.
So it does the horror thing well and leads to the showdown at the end between Max von Sydow and the other priest who I've forgotten the name of, Damien, and Demi and Linda Blair / the demon / Reagan.
Yeah.
Right? So it does that build up really well. It does the look of Reagan really well to enhance that horror, that it still looks like her and it still looks like a young girl, but is fucked up.
Yes.
And as I said earlier, the one thing that I really noticed this time was the theme of mental health and medical treatment and religion.
I also think at one point it was a room full of men mansplaining to a single mother. Whether that was intentional.
I don't know if that was intentional or just is of the time.
But I do love a bloody slow zoom in when somebody's having a monologue.
Oh, Friedkin loves it even more.
My God. I was like, is that getting closer? It was that slow. The zoom in was that slow. I'm like, is it getting bigger? Or am I having a stroke?
My favourite one was the zoom in on the detective when they're having tea.
Lee J. Cobb.
And slowly zooms in, right? And then he finishes his speech and she says something and they're like, oh, well, that speech is over. But slowly zooms out again.
Yeah.
To include Chris McNeil back into that scene.
Would you ask for an autograph?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's weird.
It's for me.
I didn't quite get the inviting all the priests to see a movie thing.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Like, why say, hey, priesty, do you want to come see a movie?
I don't know, was that a gay code in the 70s?
I don't know.
Like, if you invited someone to see a movie that was like Othello starring Jerry Lewis, did that mean you were gay?
Yeah, because that movie doesn't exist.
No, but neither does the movies that
Yes.
they don't. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you said, oh, I'm going to see Macbeth, and there's who stars as Lady Macbeth? Lucille Ball. Oh, he's gay, but I don't want to go on a date with him. So you say, I've seen it.
You go, surely it would be, I'm going to see Macbeth. Who's Lady Macbeth? Judy Garland.
No, but the comedic actors, that's the joke. It's not a gay thing.
I didn't
It's not a
get
gay
it. It's
thing,
not.
but I didn't get it.
But I just didn't understand it, unless he was just trying to, let's have a chat. That was his way of talking to people. But he didn't seem like a great detective. But no, he was good. But he didn't, he wasn't be like, I'm looking for a demon. You know what I mean?
It added another layer of investigation.
Yeah.
And on top of the medical investigation and the religious investigation
Church
that
and
Dimmy
state.
added. And very interesting, how is he going to explain it?
How is he going to
The
explain?
two deaths down the stairs. As a policeman, you can't write on your report
Demonic possession. Yeah.
So I'm interested.
And all the witnesses have gone. They're either dead or fucked off.
Dead, or he just lets them move away.
The only semi-witness is like that
Carl.
That housekeeper woman.
And Carl.
That she has a go at, but then they're best friends at the end. Are you sure you don't want to come with me? I'm like, well, you're kind of a shit boss, Chris.
Yeah, and I feel like she belongs to the house.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Not in that, like, belonging kind of way.
Yes, I know what you mean. She comes with the house.
Comes as a deal with the house.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. All the witnesses are either dead, have no memory, like Reagan.
Yep.
Or
she remembers.
He's just letting them move away. Like there's an active murder investigation of two people that you were connected with, but he's letting Chris McNeil move interstate.
Yeah.
Bad cop.
It was interesting. I don't know. At the end of your movie, does he show up when they're driving off?
The cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that didn't happen in mine.
He shows up and asks the other priest out on a date.
That didn't happen in mine, I don't think.
Yeah, right. That's what made me think it was a thing, because he does it to two different priests,
Well, that
not
guy would have
just to
said
Timmy.
yes.
But he didn't. He said, no, I've seen it.
I don't think that happened. Anyway.
The other priest rocks up at the end.
Yeah, and they give him a little...
And gives the medal.
Yeah.
But
and then they drive off.
Reagan kisses him.
Yeah, and goes, oh, I remember that medallion locket thing.
The locket and the dog collar.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, someone that looks vaguely like that helped me.
Yeah.
So thank you to Jesus's people. Science tried so hard to explain it away, but couldn't. But then they suggested exorcism as, again, in the believing of the faith in...
Placebo kind
exorcism.
of almost.
Yeah, placebo. Where do we get these placebos?
Maybe there's some in this truck.
And then we get into the intense moments. Once the priests are on board, shit gets real.
I think the
fucking herself with the cross, there's no nice way to say it.
No.
Is intense.
Crucifixial masturbation.
Okay, that's still not nice. No. The way they move the furniture around in the room is pretty good. Like that practical effect stuff to move the furniture around is good.
Yeah.
The way the head turns.
Yeah.
Very good, very creepy.
I thought the levitating was very good. I was trying to look for things.
She actually did that for real. She learned how to levitate.
levitated.
Yeah. What I found really interesting was that the moments of possession and those types of scenes, they never got out of them. They just ended. Like she just walks backwards down the stairs.
Or not, yeah.
In my version. She just walks backward down the stairs, cut to the hospital.
Yeah, I suppose the only one really got out of was when Max von Sydow got there, and then it was like, okay, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
I need to clean this spew off my thing.
The bed gets thrown around, cut to the party or the hospital the next morning, which I found a really interesting movie-making decision.
Because I think it was like normal... At one point, it was normal life, and then just a bit off normal, just a bit off hospital. Okay, now this shit is real.
Yeah.
It was almost like teasing, like little breadcrumbs.
There are some funny moments in the script.
Uh-huh.
One line I liked was the cop says to Dimmy, I think, priests are very tight-lipped.
Mm-hmm.
And
His friend's not, but yeah.
no, it doesn't. Someone says it. Priests are very tight-lipped, and then Dimmy says that depends on the priest, which I had a little lol at.
Yeah.
And then after that, we get the spew.
Oh, the spew.
The iconic spew.
That this was meant to look like this cocktail,
Yeah.
but it didn't.
One thing I liked was that Dimmy is not an expert and acknowledges that he's not an expert. He says, I don't know, I'll have to look it up.
Yep.
Which is good.
And then he Googles it.
One bit that's really intense is when she scratches "help me" on the belly from presumably the inside.
Yes.
That's full on. Did you get that scene?
Yeah.
Because that is full on.
It was, there were a lot of bits that would, so things that I found the most shocking, once again, I didn't find it scary.
Yep.
It's creepy to me.
Okay.
And suspenseful and thrillery, but there were moments where I was like scared.
Yeah, okay.
I did watch it at night time and go to bed straight afterwards. Maybe not the best idea. But then, like, with the crucifix.
Yep.
And the help me bit. The spinning the head around is bloody creepy.
Yeah. Your cunting mother.
Oh, your cunting daughter. I fucking love it.
And that's in The Exorcist Believer as well.
Oh.
So Brett laughed in the cinema during a horror movie.
It was hilarious.
At your cunting daughter. Sorry, we've said the C too many times.
That's all right.
In this episode.
We'll put a warning on it.
I don't want to spoil the awards, but when Max rocks up to the house,
Oh,
but then we get straight to it.
it's on the DVD case.
Then we get straight to it.
Yeah.
Like Max
He's
is
like,
I'm
nice
not
to
here
meet you. I'm
like-
not here to fuck spiders. Let's
I
go.
was about to say that. I'm not here to fuck spiders. I'm here to save your fucking daughter. Give me some shit. Let's go.
Yeah.
Damien, pull your head out of your ass. Get on the ball here.
It's not actually your mum.
Yeah. Be better.
The power of Christ compels you, bitch.
Then, spoiler, Max von Sydow dies.
Which I forgot.
Just of being old and worn out.
Yeah, he was tired and then the demon was too strong for him, is what I'm going to say.
And then there's nothing very religious about just punching on with a possessed girl.
Yeah.
Like, Damien doesn't say anything more. He just belts
Belts
her.
go, come into me.
He just belts her up, and then the demon's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'll go into you and we'll jump out the window.
Ship, and he jumps out the window, and I forgot that he had sacrificed himself. I knew he'd fell down the stairs because they're iconic stairs, and name drop, I've been there. Mm-hmm. I forgot that he threw himself down the stairs.
I remembered as it went on. I was like, oh, that's right. And that doesn't kill the demon in my mind, though.
Well, I feel
That
like
just kills the host.
I feel like then the demon would just jump into the next person, which happens to be the other priest,
Yeah.
which could be the Exorcist too. We don't know.
We don't know. We're not going to watch it.
No.
I totally reckon at the end of this whole movie, the cop, Lee J. Cobb, was just like, I'm too old for this shit. Like, he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'd rather
I'm
be
going to ask this cop on a date and then I'm done. I retire.
It's just like, I'll just going to be a juror again. That was much easier.
I'm going to be a juror or I'm going to work with some mob thing and a former boxer on the waterfront.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great slow building story, as I've said. We know that it's going to be about demonic possession, but the leading up to the exorcism builds that exorcism up well.
Yes.
50 years later, it makes the faith versus science with the theme of this is how we treat mental illness an interesting comment. The practicality of the effects means that it still, I think, stands up pretty well 50 years later.
Yeah, I think that you still show it to people and it's still creeped out. And there's nothing that, sometimes old horror movies or old movies can be a bit like they haven't aged well in terms of what it looks like, but also
Yep.
how it's done.
Yep.
But this, I think, if you still showed it to people, they wouldn't laugh at anything. That's like, that looks stupid.
No, there were a couple of moments where I almost laughed a bit.
Yeah.
There are a couple of lines that she said. I didn't
There was
write
one
them
that I
down.
wrote down that I'll save for later.
She drops the F-bomb or something.
She was being Karen on the phone
No, a couple of things that Reagan
on the
says.
birthday and trying to get onto the dad.
Yeah, a couple of things that Reagan says that I was like, oh, that sounds funny, even though she drops the F-bomb. But, I forgot what podcast I was on for a sec. I was about to go. But I do recommend it.
Recommend The Exorcist. Well, partially.
I do. I do recommend The Exorcist. It's a good, still standing up 50 years later horror movie.
It also has zero impact on culture whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, none.
Never seen anything.
So, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go.
Awards or...
No, for my part.
Yeah,
I haven't talked about it.
No. The awards that it's won.
It was nominated for
Yep.
10 Oscars.
Okay.
Including...
wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor for Demi. It won for Best Adapted Screenplay and for Sound. Mm-hmm. It's on
Sound
the
is good, yes.
American... You know, I was thinking... I think it's a bit stiff to not be on the AFI Top 100 Greatest Movies of All Time, but they probably don't like horror. An American Film Institute lists, it is number 3 on the 100 Years, 100 Thrills.
Oh,
What is that, you ask?
that's huge.
Is a list of the top 100 most exciting movies in cinema.
Oh, exciting, not scary.
No, just like, ooh, exciting, woo.
Okay.
So number 1 is Psycho. It goes Psycho, Jaws, Exorcist, North by Northwest, Silence of the Lambs. So it's like thrillery, exciting horror things. Yep. There are 9 Alfred Hitchcock movies on that list. Anyway. And on the list of AFI, this has been a regular thing lately. On the AFI 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains,
Max von Sydow.
Reagan McNeil is number 9.
As a hero?
As a villain, Lee.
No, she's not a villain.
She's the demonic
demon.
possession.
The demon is the
Yes,
villain.
but it says Reagan McNeil. Anyway, so there you go. So at the end of its original theatrical run, The Exorcist grossed $193 million
Pretty good.
and has a
73.
lifetime gross of $441 million with re-releases.
Wow.
It held the box office record for the top grossing R-rated horror movie until The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, right.
Sixth Sense beat it as the highest grossing supernatural horror film until it took that honor. So the movie It.
The movie.
The new one. Yeah. Yes. Which is it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, yeah.
And I think the thing that it is the best horror movie ever.
Yeah, I don't know if it is the best horror movie.
So there was some quote that I wrote down that The Exorcist did for horror movies what 2001: A Space Odyssey did for sci-fi.
Yeah.
So before 2001, sci-fi was just,
B grade.
robot monster, Player
Yeah.
9 from outer space, that dorky shit. And then that was just kind of the same with horror. But then The Exorcist was released and was very successful. So then studios were like, hey, want to make horror movies, everybody? So they put more money into horror movies.
Yeah.
None of them have been quite as good. In terms of the overall, regardless of genre, a good, well-made movie,
Yep.
I really don't think much is better than The Exorcist in terms of horror.
Would you class lots of Hitchcocks as thrillers then?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I think, yeah, it's very well made. And like I said, it's stood up for 50 years
Yeah.
because it is hard to watch old horror.
Yep.
And I think by being practical, there's not blood and guts, because often it can be blood and guts that doesn't
Age well.
because, something looks all of a sudden bright red, which things didn't look bright red. When you first saw them at the cinema,
Yeah.
early days, you'd never seen colour in film, let alone like
Blood.
red blood
Yeah.
colour. And so I think that doesn't age well in a lot of horror movies. It's a high budget horror movie.
Well,
Not like the Halloweens and the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and like they're
Yes.
relatively low budget.
well, there was a lot of production problems and accidents on sets. Some people even think
Well,
there's a curse.
The director died.
I thought you did it again.
Yes. I was referring back to your
Yeah.
previous confusion for those that didn't know.
The shoot was originally scheduled for 85 days.
Okay.
It took over 200 days.
Oh, wow.
It went $2.5 million or $12.5 million in 2021 over budget.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Shooting was delayed 6 weeks after a bird flew into a circuit breaker on the house set,
Okay.
starting a fire that destroyed all of them. What? Anyway, except for Reagan's room. Well, that's creepy.
All of the rooms.
The 10-foot statue of Pazuzu was shipped to Hong Kong instead of Iraq. Well, that's just racism. People got injured on set. Ellen Burstyn broke her coccyx.
Yikes.
Her and Linda Blair both have chronic back issues. I mean, welcome to the club.
Yep.
Linda Blair fractured her lower spine after being too loosely strapped into the rocking bed. And that was the take that was used in the movie. Oh. So that's why it looked so good.
Yeah.
She developed scoliosis,
Oh, yikes.
as well as a lifelong aversion to cold from all her time in a refrigerated bedroom.
Well, they did that so well.
Yeah.
That looked so good, the breathing.
Yeah.
Yep.
People's family died. I shouldn't laugh.
Okay.
The night watchman of the movie, on the set, he died. The operator of the refrigeration system of Reagan's room and an assistant cameraman's newborn died.
Oh.
Linda Blair's grandfather died during the first week of production, and Max von Sydow had to return to Sweden after the first day of shooting because his brother died. One of Miller, so Jason Miller, who plays Demi,
Yep.
one of his sons nearly died during shooting.
Holy moly, this is a worse curse than Glee.
I know, right? Yeah, so they reckon it's like Poltergeist.
Yeah. Did they dig up any graves? Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe they did. There's a few sequels, whatever. There's about 6.
Up until believe. Simpsons. Sark.
South Park.
Oh yeah.
Carol Burnett Show. Burnett Hart Show.
Yep.
Toy Story.
Okay. Can't remember it.
And the bad guy Sid.
Yeah.
He's got the toys, and then they try to scare him. And there's a scene where Woody's
Head
head turns around.
Yep. Okay.
I could go on, but I won't. But basically, everything. Or also, the most important one, the opening scene of Scary Movie 2. The third worst scary movie.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
And it's actually very funny. And then they're doing the party, and the priest is playing the piano, and then they play some rap song, and they're like, "How about this one?" It's like, duh. He's playing this rap song, and some other priest in the background's like, "Oh yeah, it's some real good shit." It's very funny. I'll send it to you later. There's also a line in there that I'm not going to mention because it says a word that is not
Allowed to be
allowed to be said.
by people of our skin.
Yes.
Doesn't the girl join in on that rap in that scene too?
No, she comes down and she pees.
Okay.
But she pees for like 10 minutes. It's
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
I thought...
And then they go, and then it's like James Woods plays the Exorcist. And it goes, it's like, your mother's in here with me. Whatever. I forgot the guy's name. And then he goes, you anything you want to say to her? And he goes, yeah. Mum, would you get out of there? And then the mum comes out from under the blanket.
Oh.
I could go on. But
Okay,
I won't. I
right.
could just go through the whole opening scene, but I
Yeah,
won't.
you could.
I love Karras, Father Karras, Damien Karras.
Damien Karras, yes.
Because I just saw that. Do you like this? Is your favourite bit? Alternate castings.
Oh, yeah. Interestingly,
Jack Nicholson was considered for Damien Karras. Which
would have been too big.
Very good. Actually, no, I wouldn't have.
Would he
I
have been
wouldn't like
too
that.
big then?
A little bit.
Was this is post Shining?
No, well before.
Pre-Shining, yes.
He'd already done things.
He hadn't done Cuckoo's Nest yet.
He hadn't done Cuckoo's Nest yet. But I think that he just would have been too, like, the
Yeah,
power of
man.
Christ compels you.
Yeah.
I can't do a Jack Nicholson.
So he'd done...
Done Easy Rider?
Well, no, he had won 2 Oscar nominations by then. For Easy Rider and 5 Easy Pieces.
Yes. Paul Newman was interested,
Okay.
but he bloody hired someone else who didn't end up being in the movie. 3 A-list actresses of the time were considered for Chris, but rejected the part. Jane Fonda,
Would have been good, I think.
Anne Bancroft,
Also could have been good.
Audrey Hepburn.
Oh.
Could you imagine being like, stay away from my daughter?
Yeah. Too nice.
Not good with the impressions
No,
today.
you're not on.
Friedkin also rejected Shirley MacLaine because she'd done some other possession movie that was too similar.
Yeah, The Trouble with Harry.
After meeting Carol Burnett, William Friedkin believed she had range to do it, but the studio turned her down.
Okay.
Warner's wanted fucking Marlon Brando
God.
because it's the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody did want to play Max von Sydow's character.
Yeah.
But Friedkin was like, no. I don't know why you would refuse that, but anyway.
Max von Sydow's good, though.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
They had a few... So, directors were... Stanley Kubrick was floated for a bit, and Mike Nichols, but he turned it down because he didn't believe that they could get a young actress that could actually do the movie. So he's like, you can't make this movie if you can't get that.
Yeah.
So he was like, nah, not going to do it.
Surely you say yes, but put
Yeah.
in the contract if you can't find a girl that I think
Yeah,
is
yeah.
capable of making it, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yes, maybe. Denise Nickerson, who played Violet Beauregard in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that she was going to do it, but her family was like, hell to the no.
She was also too round.
She was too purple.
Yeah.
So when you refrigerated her, she wouldn't have gone any more purple.
No. But it would have been hard to put that green mangy makeup on her over the purple.
Yeah, because purple and green are like
Yeah.
cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And there was
Hang on,
someone...
what's more torturous for a child, being turned into a blueberry by Willy Wonka or being possessed by a devil?
Well, it depends, because I believe that she dies in Willy Wonka. So
They all die.
yeah, so dying is worse.
It's not that Charlie's the best kid. It's just the kid that didn't die at the end of it.
Die. And there was someone who wouldn't let their daughter audition.
Who?
Janet Leigh would not let her daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, audition.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right?
Imagine. Wow.
She would have been too old. Like, I think she would have been too old.
She would have been 13. 14.
Right, I thought she would be more like 16.
She was 19 in Halloween in
Yeah,
1978. So she would have been 14.
She would have been, well, that's a little bit older.
But she's also...
But she looks older.
she's tall.
Yeah.
Well, she was tall at 19.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
could have also been tall at 14. But imagine
Yeah.
if instead of getting your break as the final girl,
Yeah.
you got your break as the final girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are three, maybe if you count in Psycho, three like iconic
Yeah.
horror chicks.
Yeah.
I suppose you had Nev Campbell.
Oh, I was going to say, sorry, Nev.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anna Faris again. That's fine.
Oh, geez. And Jamie Lee Curtis could have been either of them.
Could you imagine?
Either of the top two.
She would have got her first Oscar nomination then and not when she's bloody 70 years old or whatever.
And she would have been slightly less of a Nepo baby because William Friedkin didn't go to Janet Leigh and say, I want your daughter because she's your daughter.
Yeah. It might have been a bit of that, but...
She'd still be called a Nepo baby.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it.
Wow.
It just has a lot of cultural... Everybody knows The Exorcist. Everybody knows the head spinning around and the spewing and the...
And for some reason, everybody knows that walking down the stairs, even though it's not in what most people
in
see.
the original theatrical release. But I've seen a version with that in it. So, unless I'm thinking of Anna Faris walking down the stairs backwards on her hands. And
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Which is odd. And I think that's in Family Guy too.
I mean, it probably is. And can I say, you
Yep.
know how it's good? Because I didn't laugh going, Scary Movie 2. Like when I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, I'm like, Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Although I'm not going to compare the two.
Shall we do some awards?
Let's do some awards.
All right. The Extras Awards. The Andy Millman from Ricky Gervais's Extras, Worst Extra Award.
Uh-huh.
I have a group nomination,
Yes.
right?
Is it the dogs? The fighting dogs?
No. I'm trying to think of a comparison, right? But any comparison I make is going to sound racist. So what I'm going to say is Max von Sydow is a 6'3"
Yes.
white man
Yes.
walking through a small northern Iraqi village,
In the 60s. Yep.
and no one gives him a second glance.
Yep.
Like he literally walks past through a market too. Like he's not in a tourist spot.
Nah.
He's in the local market and no one gives him a second glance.
Yeah.
If you lived in an all-white village and
Maybe they
someone
just
of
know that
like
guy's there.
the size and stature of Michael Jordan and race of Michael
Yeah.
Jordan walked through the market suddenly,
Yeah.
you'd be like, whew, he doesn't belong here.
Unless you know, like, unless Max von Sydow's been there for a bit and they're like, oh, is that white
That's
dude?
possible.
Still. I wrote the waiter at the start. I thought he was shit, but I can't remember why.
What waiter?
He went to like a little cafe thing and got food. And the waiter was crap. Anyway.
Okay. When the priests are talking and Dimmy's saying, I've lost my calling.
No, Max von Sydow at the start when he's still in Iraq. Anyway, that's not going to win.
Because he's
Yeah,
shaking and trying to
I
take
think
his
so.
pills and the waiter just goes, here's your coffee.
Yeah, and then just
walks
looks
off.
at him like, you're right, mate. Where's
Yeah.
my tip?
Come on.
Yeah. The other one I wrote is, you know when Chris McNeil and Damien Karras meet on that bridge?
Yep.
There's just some rando guy there.
Just standing.
Just standing there. It's like he's going for a walk and then he stops walking and just kind of stands there. Looks real weird. And then they walk off.
Can I nominate the movie within a movie director? Like he's not an extra,
Much of
but
an
he's
extra.
an arsehole.
He's a shit.
I just also wanted to mention he's an arsehole.
Yeah. He's an asshole.
I'm surprised he didn't like.
That's it.
I'm surprised we didn't have a scene of him like trying to get it on with Chris.
I wish we saw when he died.
You wanted
to be
see
honest.
the.
Yeah, I want to see him die.
I'm going to mention it again. We went to Washington DC, and you can where the stairs are,
Yeah.
and you
It's a
can go.
heritage site now.
And at the top of that stairs, but across the road is the actual house
Oh, okay.
and the actual street lamp.
Yeah.
So it's not actually like the house is here and then the stairs are next to it. The house is across the road. But you can walk up those stairs. We got out of the taxi and walked up the street and around and we saw the stairs and I'm like, fuck, that is steep.
Yeah.
Like, They're obviously, and you think like, well, they've done something to make them look steep.
They're the most iconic stairs in cinema history.
Yeah. You think they've done something to make them look steep, but then you get there and you're like, no, these
How
stairs
does Lee
are
J.
just
Cobb
fucking
walk up
creepy.
it? No wonder he's puffed.
Yeah.
I'm like, good on you, Lee.
And then I went to the top and we looked down and they're scary too.
Did you fall? Did you jump?
Is the Gone with the Wind staircase up there in
It'd be
iconic
up there.
stairs in cinema history?
It'd be up there. And
That's
then
our top 5.
Yeah.
Top five
Top 5
stairs of
stairs.
cinema.
The Exorcist, Gone with the Wind, Joker.
Oh, Joker. Yeah.
We'll
think about it.
I can't think
We'll
of
think
any more
about it.
stairs. Stairway to Heaven.
So what do we think?
I don't know. That guy on the bridge was shit.
Are there stairs that Dick Van Dyke's Bert makes out of smoke in Chim Chimney iconic?
Maybe.
That's totally...
Yeah, that went
I know
completely
I
off topic.
completely interrupted you, worst
Yeah.
extra. It's the waiter?
I think it might be the guy on the bridge.
Because he just randomly tries
Just
to join
there,
the
and he's
conversation.
just weird. He's just kind of standing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got to write guy on the bridge
Yeah.
and try and
When
find
they first
that
meet.
scene. Try and find that scene on YouTube.
When Reagan and Chris first meet. When Damien and Chris first meet.
After she stalked him.
100%. Who's that guy
Like-
that I see talking to other priests at a priest place?
That really intense guy. I saw him having a conversation with another priest. Is there something about him? Oh, no, he's a priest. He talks to priests.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Andy Millman Worst Extra Award goes to Guy on the Bridge when Chris meets Damien.
Yes.
The Estelle Reiner Best Extra Award.
I have to say something about extras.
Okay.
I was watching Glee.
Yeah.
And you know, I love sometimes the names of not extras, but say they have 1 or 2 lines.
Rando characters.
But they have to get credited, but
Yeah.
they don't have a character name.
Okay, yeah.
And I chuckled.
So it's like child number 7.
Yeah, it's like girl on bridge.
Yeah.
Or guy on bridge.
Guy
Fucking
on
idiots.
Bridge. Yeah.
And then at the end of one episode, towards the end of the show, after it got shit,
Yeah.
and they have, the boys choir, the Warblers, and they
Yeah.
said it's like there were one credited as super gay warbler, and there was another one credited as even gayer warbler or something like that. I'm like, come on, that is just stupid.
Without Ryan there, they're not going to the effort of naming
And that
characters.
was the funniest thing that the 2 lines that they had was like, they said something like, but they had to do something, and they were like, but where will we sleep? I don't know if it's sleep. And then Sue goes, well, I imagine you two will sleep inside each other. I have to find the clip.
Oh,
It's
dear.
hilarious.
All right, find it and put it on the TikTok.
Yeah.
All right, the Estelle Reiner from
Best extras.
the Best Extra, the Estelle Reiner Best Extra. I'll have what she's having. This guy, I wasn't sure whether to put in Best Extra or Worst Extra. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's in the northern Iraq scene.
Yeah.
And there is a guy just hacking away.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And he's there, and then he's there, and then a guy comes and stands right next to him, and
Yep.
he's just hacking away.
Yep.
Then that
The
guy,
blacksmith guy?
that guy talks to Max.
Oh, was he
This
rocking?
is out there chipping
Okay.
away at the rocks,
Yeah.
right? The guy comes and stands next to him. He doesn't look up.
Yeah.
Just keeps chipping at the rocks.
Yeah.
The guy that's come has talked to Max. Max gets up, steps over his pick to walk off, and this guy just keeps hacking away.
I reckon is that good or bad?
I don't know.
It's good that he keeps working.
Oh, he's a good worker.
But it's bad because I would have been like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. I would have been like, are you here to see me? No.
No, yeah.
And then kept hacking.
That's what I do at work.
Or I
Whenever
would
somebody
be like-
walks near my desk, I'm like,
Or like the boss is walking past me, I'm going to stop swinging the axe.
yeah, just in case I hit him
take
because
his
he's
toe
about
off.
to die.
Yeah.
The one I also nominated for in Iraq, I was going to say in Iraq. I was going to say something else there. There's like he's around, and there's like people being like blacksmiths,
Yeah.
and smelting things.
Yep.
And they're just like bing,
The three
bing,
hammers.
bing, 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 bing,
Great.
bing, 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 and then one get a close up, and there's one eye.
One just looks at him.
Yeah.
That's good. The guy, the messenger priest that gives the note from the archdiocese to Max von Sydow.
Oh, gives him the golden ticket. Yeah.
He's just walking through the woods,
Yep.
and this other obviously novice priest,
Uh-huh.
just runs up, gives him a note, and runs off. Doesn't say anything to him. Just goes, "Father,"
Yes.
and then runs off. I don't know, again, if that's good or bad.
The other one I wrote is the people playing tennis.
I was watching them.
Because I was like, this whole scene was good because it's like they're playing tennis. And I was like,
Yeah.
how much pressure is on you not to fuck up right now?
Yeah, there were a couple of shots into the net. We would have played well.
I would have been like, just try to get my 15 minutes.
Then you would have got sacked.
I would have. But I'd get an award. I'd get an Andy Millman award.
You get the Andy Millman. I don't know who to give it to.
No, neither do I.
The guy that gives him the note?
I think so.
Because he doesn't say anything.
No.
Because
It's not the best movie for extras.
No. There's also not heaps. But
No.
when there is heaps, there is heaps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that Northern Iraq at the side of the dig, there's just lots of people around.
Yeah.
But they're also not doing much to grade on.
Uh-huh.
So the Estelle Runner Best Extra Award gives it to Novice Messenger Priest.
Yes.
The Halle Berry X-Men Worst Line Award. I have a couple of conversations
Okay.
to nominate.
Is it to do with a director?
No. There's none of the lines of you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
So this actually, there's two bits to this, right? One of them is a dialogue that didn't happen on screen, right?
Okay.
So,
Imagine if this was also cut. I would have no idea what you're talking about.
piano playing priest.
Gay priest, yeah.
Well, I was being generous. Piano playing priest
Uh-huh.
gets Chris to get in contact with Damien, right?
Yes.
For a reason. Obviously, for a reason.
Yeah.
Piano playing priest knows that Chris's daughter has been sick in
Yeah.
the head,
Yeah.
but piano playing priest doesn't tell Damien that?
Piano,
Because there's this whole back and forth.
Piano playing priest. Piano Triple P doesn't tell Damien that she came down in the middle of a dinner party and pissed on the carpet.
No, but Chris,
Which, if he is gay, he is spilling that tea, sis. He's just like, girl, you will not
No.
believe what happened at this party last
Chris, well, yeah, that's one thing. They're
Yeah.
friends. That would be a story to tell. But also,
night. They're more than friends.
if Chris has asked piano playing priest
Yeah. Can we just get his name?
about I want my daughter to seek extra help other than these psychologists. He says Damien is a priest and a psychologist, but then doesn't tell Damien it's about the daughter.
Father Joseph Dyer?
That I
Father
found-
William O'Malley.
That I found really odd.
That's him. Yeah. Oh, he's a real
you
father in
agree?
real life. I do find it odd. He didn't give him all the details,
Yeah.
but I
then
would have given him all the details.
Also, when they talk, Chris and
Yeah.
Damien for the first time,
yeah, after the creepy guy on the Bridge West Extra.
she says, "I need help, someone close to me." He says, "Who?" She says, "You have a daughter." He says, "I didn't know you have a daughter." She says, "I have a daughter." He said, "You have a daughter." She says, "It's my daughter."
My boyfriend, our roommate,
He says, "I didn't know you have a daughter." Like,
Yeah,
there's just
yeah,
too
yeah,
much
yeah.
back and forth there.
Yeah.
So I'm nominating that on screen bit, but also the not bit
Okay,
that wasn't in it.
Okay.
I've gone 9 too long. I'm sorry.
that's not applicable. I understand what you're saying, though. Real lines that were actually in the
Okay,
movie.
Thank you.
Would you help out an old bolter boy? I'm a Catholic. That
Yeah.
homeless guy at the train station.
Yeah.
I
That's
found
okay.
it creepy. No, I found it in a way of like,
No.
I'm an old altar
No.
boy kind of thing.
No.
Maybe I read too much into
You've
that.
projected onto that from the Royal Commissions.
I've commissioned.
You've watched Spotlight and
Yeah.
then watched this.
I did. And then I wrote, I like pizzas too, but I'm not going to marry one.
No, I thought that was funny.
Oh.
I thought that was
I thought
funny.
it was stupid.
Nah. But it's a girl it's a woman talking to her daughter. She's got to say funny lines. It's just that kids
Give
don't
her
get
some credit.
kids don't get jokes.
Yeah.
I wrote when the boss priests meet, right? They've just decided they're like
And they're like, what about this guy?
they go, we need to get a priest with experience,
Yeah.
right? They're like, yeah. And then what about Father Merrin? And then someone goes, well, why him? And the other one goes, well, he's got his experience.
I like, that's shit.
Yeah. Like,
I'm happy with that one.
he's got experience. Oh, I didn't know that. Like you suggested him.
Yeah.
You did we just discussed having experience? So we're doing that. Is it because of the line or because I explained it much more succinctly than my other nomination?
It's because it's an actual line.
Okay.
It's not something you just made up in the background of another deleted scene. That's
All right.
It never existed.
It's my fan theory. It's my head canon.
That's what I made up. What did I make up headcanon about?
The Halloween?
Was it Halloween? Oh, my headcanon was in Halloween that the parents who got Annie to babysit
wanted
Jamie Lee Curtis, but she was unavailable,
Yep.
and she just went, "I have my friend Annie," and they're like, "Fuck, all right, we'll go with her."
We'll go
But
with
you'll
the
still be across the
we'll
road,
go
yeah.
with the slut from down the road. You'll be across the road in case a serial killer comes, right?
In case she decides to ditch my
Yep.
daughter and have sex.
The Ben Stiller from There's Something About Mary most crying scene doesn't exist. I didn't cry in this movie.
I cried green vomit. I didn't cry at all.
Did you vomit?
No, I didn't vomit.
No, okay.
Okay, Lee.
Okay.
I have
the I Am Your Father most iconic scene.
I have 7 nominations.
I've whittled it down to 3. Okay.
I wrote convulsions / fuck me.
Yeah, okay.
Is that one of your 3?
No.
Okay. What are your 3?
When they go in, we see her on the bed with the completely done face. And the vomit.
Yes, I wrote vomit.
Yep. That's one of my 3.
Okay.
You need to do 2 now, because otherwise, if we go back and forth, you'll keep going.
I wrote crucifixial masturbation.
Yes, okay.
I wrote the part with the crucifix, but
Yeah.
then I like the term. I don't like the term, but
Now you have the term. And you're gonna
crucifixial
use it
masturbation.
because this is the only hour of your life where you're going to be able to use that term.
And I also have head turning around.
Yep. I have the shot of him standing in the light.
I have that
Is
too.
obviously iconic, but in the scene in the movie, it's combined with a shot of her eyes with the demon knowing that he's there,
Yes.
which is great storytelling.
I wrote that. Max von Sydow arriving. I wrote.
Yep. I also have the final, like in that final exorcism where she comes up off the bed and shit really goes. The actual final exorcism, well, not the final, the power of Christ compels you.
Yeah.
That moment.
I wrote the levitating
Yep.
because I think it's like, because before that it's just like, and then stop and it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then that levitating leads into the power of Christ compels you, which if we did iconic lines, that would be it.
Yes.
Yep.
Or your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Or
Your cunting daughter.
What else did you have nominated?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
So the 3 that you had, I also had. So that doesn't help us narrow it down.
It's him.
I want to say the
It's
levitating.
the lamppost. It's the lamppost.
No, because I think if you saw, well, actually, that's all of them, which is what makes it
all 3 of
iconic.
them,
That if
yeah.
you saw just her levitating,
Yep.
you know what movie it is. But then it's the same for the other ones. I want it.
Do we not do the one that's on the poster out of principle?
Most iconic scene is her levitating. Most iconic shot is him and the lamppost.
Okay, then it's most iconic scene, which seems to be a discussion we have every week, whether it's scene or
You know
shot.
what? I'm happy to concede and say him arriving with the lamp.
No, we'll do her lifting off the bed.
Okay.
On the TikTok, I might try and put both in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great movie. Stands up 50 years later. Very scary / creepy, depending on whether you're scared by movies.
I think I'm a psychopath
Probably.
because I'm not scared by scary movies, right? And then somebody said the other day, if people yawn, you know how when people yawn and then yawning is contagious and you yawn as well?
Yeah.
Apparently, if people yawn and you don't yawn, you're a psychopath.
And I think it just means you have no empathy.
Okay, I have no empathy. That's fine.
Which actually makes you a sociopath, not a psychopath.
That
Right.
actually makes more sense.
On-air diagnosis.
Yeah, there you go.
Done.
And I slowly zoomed in on you as you were giving me that
Yeah,
diagnosis,
right.
so that was really good.
All right, shall we do a top 5?
Let's do it.
All right, because we are reviewing on Two Drink Cinema this week, we are reviewing The Exorcist. We have decided to do our top 5 movies with creepy kids.
Yes, Lee, I have a question.
Yes.
Define age of kid.
Yeah, that's a question. Teenager?
If you're, say,
Going to your senior prom?
Going to your prom.
Yeah.
Are you a kid?
Judging by the other movies on my list, no.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
So an honourable mention for me goes to
Carrie?
Carrie.
Same.
Which, if you didn't get that, watch more movies or read more books.
Yes.
So,
honourable mention for me is Carrie.
yep.
Honourable mention is me as well is Megan, that AI doll thing.
Okay.
Just
yep.
because she's a creepy doll and I thought that movie was hilarious.
Honourable mention for me is Ryan Gosling in that episode of Goosebumps.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
No.
No, let's save a couple of honourable mentions
Okay.
before we do one.
Yep.
All right. So my number 5.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to change.
Okay.
My number 5 is Babadook.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
Yeah?
My number 5
Yep.
is Halloween.
Just from him being 6 and stabbing his sister in the tits.
Yep. He's a creepy kid.
Yeah, okay. We decided not creepiest kids, but best
Yeah,
movie
because I don't
with
know
creepy
enough about the
in
kids.
it.
Although I think my number 1 would be the same.
My number 4 is Poltergeist.
My number 4 is Rosemary's Baby.
Haven't seen it.
Unborn.
That's another question. What gone Carrie at one end of the age of kids?
I don't want to get into some sort of abortion debate.
Okay.
Rosemary's Baby because it's literally the baby of the devil.
Okay. I think I've actually gone with good movies plus creepier kids in my rankings. Do you know what I mean?
would say, sorry, a demon just entered my soul. I would almost say that as well,
Yeah.
except my honourable mentions that I haven't said yet are creepy kids,
Okay.
which
So,
is the category.
My number 5 is Babadook. My number 4 is Poltergeist because the kid is creepy and the movie's pretty good.
Yeah. When you
and-
say the kid, are you talking the girl looking at the TV or
Yeah.
the little person?
No, I was about to give a bonus vote for her in terms of the quality of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, then my number 3 is The Sixth Sense.
My number 3
Yep.
is The Sixth Sense.
Yes,
Do we have the
because
same top 3?
Haley Joel Osment is creepy, and the movie is very
The
creepy.
movie is very good.
And very good.
I might watch that again. Or should I save it until it has an anniversary next year?
Is it next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There's some big
Sixth
movies
Sense,
next year.
1999.
Yeah.
So 25 years. All right. Misha Barton's in it. She's the girl under the table.
There you go.
I just remembered.
She's spoiler alert, she's dead.
My number
Yeah,
2.
number 3, Sixth Sense. Yep, same.
Number 2 is The Exorcist.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay. Maybe my number 2 is your number 1 then, I would imagine.
I would imagine.
The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got 3 creepy kids in it. And it's an epic.
Red Ram.
Yeah.
Red Ram.
Well, if you count Danny and Tony, it's 4.
Yeah. Danny and Tony. Yeah.
Tony's
Who's Danny?
Danny's the boy,
Yeah.
and Tony is in his finger.
Oh fuck. Yeah, okay.
And then the twins.
yes.
Yeah.
And then my number 1, or should I say honourable mention?
Okay. My other honourable mention is The Ring.
Same. And The Grudge.
Yeah, okay. I haven't
But
seen
not
The
The Grudge. The Scary Movie 3. version of the Grudge.
all right.
Anyway, which is hilariously racist.
The Ring could have made it because there is Samara and the boy.
Yep,
But
that's true.
maybe I should have put that in instead of Poltergeist.
I almost
Too
put that
late, I've said
instead
it now.
instead of Halloween. But yeah, my number one is The Exorcist.
Yeah, Babadook, Poltergeist, Sixth Sense, Exorcist, and Shining for me.
Halloween, Rosemary's Unborn Baby, Sixth Sense, Shining, Exorcist.
All right, okay. That's our
Apparently,
top
The
5.
Omen is also very creepy.
Yeah, I
and
haven't
then,
seen it.
You know, but like the Children of the Corn, and then that one that's like the Children of the Corn, but not, that Simpsons rip off in a Halloween episode. Yeah.
There's also one called The Children.
There's also that Firestarter one, where
Which I haven't
where
seen
Drew
either.
Barrymore plays the person that set shit on fire.
A couple of lists I looked at online had the younger brother in it
Okay.
because he has a couple of in the newer version of Stephen King's It. He has a couple of moments there. Pet Sematary apparently has a creepy kid
Yeah. Makes sense.
in it as well. There's a big list. It was interesting. I just Googled. Let me see if I can find it again.
I googled like movies with creepy kids.
I Googled movies with creepy kids, right? And this was, Google will give a list of movies.
Yeah.
Right? In this list, they had The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Okay.
Beetlejuice. I don't know if Winona Ryder is creepy.
Well, yeah, Adam's Family, you could say.
Hocus Pocus.
Nope, doesn't count.
The
Thackeray Binks. That's not creepy.
recent Goosebumps movie with Jack Black.
Don't know, I haven't seen it.
Casper.
Nope.
Coraline.
Yeah, okay.
Monsters, Inc.
No.
No. So I don't really trust Google's movie lists.
I almost
But it
could have
also
put
had
Adam's Family in there.
Child's Play, Orphan, Children of the Corn, The Omen, The Addams Family,
Yeah.
which I guess, Pet Sematary.
Cool.
And The Witches.
Nope.
The kid's not creepy.
The kid's not creepy. Everybody else around him is.
He's a little bit weird.
Including his grandma.
He's a little bit weird, the kid.
He's
though.
got no friends. So.
Yeah, but he's not creepy. So that's our top 5 for movies featuring creepy kids to go
Yeah.
with our review of The Exorcist on Two Drink Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we want to say about The Exorcist movie?
No. It's very good.
It is very good and it's stood up very well.
I'll watch it again at some point. Not anytime soon.
Not this Halloween.
No, I've still got to. It's nearly Halloween. I've still got to watch Hocus Pocus.
That's true. Now I might watch The Sixth Sense again. Maybe I'll watch Carrie again. That's good
Yeah, I haven't seen that for
scary.
a while.
and scary. Yeah.
But not the remake.
We've got to start getting ready for Christmas movies soon. We've got 4 to go.
Lee, what's the date today?
October 24th.
Right? Guess
Yep.
what song I heard on an ad in the car?
Mariah,
Mariah. I'm not ready.
do you know what I bought last week from the shops?
Mince pie.
Mince pies. All right. We are done with Hocus Pocus. We have 4.
We're done with The Exorcist.
Oh, we're done with The Exorcist. Yes.
We are never done with Hocus Pocus.
We have this coming out this week, so it's the end of October. And then we have next, we are not going to be able to do without looking it up, a 6 Degrees of this movie.
Okay. Is it Robot Monster?
It's The Land Before Time.
Well, nobody's in it.
Yeah.
Nah, skip. Not the movie. We're not doing it.
We're not doing 6 Degrees.
Nah, like if I just quickly look up
The cast of Land Before Time.
Pat Hingle.
Judith Barcy, Gabrielle Damon, Will Ryan, Frank Welker, and Candace Hudson. No, I don't know.
They probably don't even have bloody photos.
It's got bloody stuff all on Wikipedia too.
Yeah, it could be a short episode from my perspective.
It's a feature film series.
There's a lot of them.
The Land Before Time, 1988. Even looking at like
We
producers,
could almost do it.
directors.
So I googled Pat Hingle, who's in Land Before Time.
You know,
He plays Commissioner Gordon in Batman and Robin. Are in his top 4.
oh, the Joel Schumacher's.
The first Batman. The Michael Keaton first Batman.
Okay, so
that
that
gets
gets
you
us
to Jack
to
Nicholson.
Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Max von Sydow,
Yeah, so there you go.
Cobb.
Lee J. Cobb, yeah.
We can get from Cobb to Nicholson, surely. Brando. Jack Nicholson's done something with De Niro or Pacino, surely.
How are we going to Nicholson? Oh, because he's in Batman.
Yeah.
Nicholson. God, this is really embarrassing. I feel like I should be a lot better at this. You know
So
what?
Jack
I really don't think
Nicholson-
I've seen a lot of Jack Nicholson movies.
We've got Cuckoo's Nest,
Cuckoo's Nest.
which
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, who's the penguin. So that doesn't help us.
It's probably the same Commissioner Gordon, but
Yep. So I reckon the best one to take from the Commissioner Gordon.
yeah.
So we've gone from him in Land Before Time to Jack Nicholson, right?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson has to have some connection to Marlon Brando. James
What about
Caan.
Robert Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen,
Jack Nicholson, Gene
Harrison
Hackman?
Ford,
Jack Nicholson.
Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton.
Jack Nicholson, Diane Keaton, as good as it gets. Diane Keaton can get
No,
you to
Diane
Harrison.
Keaton. Something else, not as good as it gets.
Oh, The Only Way's Up, but it's not called that. It's something like that.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. Yeah, that's not like.
Then where was I going with that? Oh, and Diane Keaton's in The Godfather with Marlon Brando.
Done.
Why are we going to Marlon Brando?
So we get Marlon Brando to Cobb in On
yes.
the Waterfront.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah?
Okay, good. A little bit assisted just to work out what the hell Pat Hingle's been in.
Well,
But
my
other
other
than
thing
that,
was like the music is composed by James Horner,
oh,
which was going to get us to Titanic and Braveheart and A Beautiful Mind
and Lord of the Rings.
and Willow,
yeah.
and How the Grinch Stole Christmas and The Karate
The Karate Kid. Oh,
which wouldn't really helped us other than getting us to Elizabeth Shue,
no.
which could have got us to Christopher Lloyd, which could have got us to
Jack Nicholson. There you go.
which also doesn't help.
Okay.
Land
Before Time.
The Land Before Time. What
Nostalgia.
What are we watching it on? Let's see.
I'm Prime.
Okay.
We are paying for it on Prime.
All right. The Land Before Time. We are not watching The Land Before Time 14, Journey of the Brave, which is the second suggestion if you go to justwatch.com. Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure. Land Before Time 10. Geez, there's a fucking lot of movies.
Yep. Directed video.
Wow. There are so many.
Yes, we are. Apologies, listeners. If you don't have the VHS of Land Before Time, you will have to rent it.
Could we... It's a short movie. Could we also do Robot Monster?
How are we going to watch that?
I've got it there on Blu-ray. And it's for free on YouTube. Because it's like...
Oh, because it's shit. Yeah.
It's shit and it's old. So it's past any copyright. So the movie goes for an hour and 2 minutes, Robot Monster.
And Land Before Time goes for like an hour and 10.
Yeah, it's 70 years old.
Are you sure it's on?
Yeah.
Not available on any streaming services.
But Robot Monster, I've got a link of it.
Roman,
right
an alien robot who greatly resembles a gorilla in a diving helmet. All right. Okay.
Okay,
We're doing a double.
We're doing a double up.
Just for
right.
Lee.
We'll decide
Because
during the week whether we do them as one episode or two.
Because they're so related.
They're so related. Yeah. And there's not going to be much impact of Robot Monster. There's not going to be much story for me to talk about.
I don't think there's going to be story or impact, although I think there's a bit of storyline Before Time, bit of impact that there's 14 sequels.
Yeah,
but
15 movies in the series. More
Yeah.
than in bloody James Bond almost.
yeah.
All right, that's enough of that. So watch both Land Before Time and Robot Monster, or one or the other.
Yeah.
And you can listen to those episodes next week. Like and subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on your podcast app, and leave us a rating and review, and tell your friends to listen to Two Drink Cinema for next week and all in the past.
Yes.
Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers. Thanks for listening to Two Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcast, either leave a tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.